Okay, today's is a bit long, and it should be longer because in Chabad, what we do is when sometimes there's some months that there's the first udder and there's the second udder. And this in the years when there's only one udder, so we read the HaYom Yom, which was written for the first udder and also the second udder. I left that out. When there's a year that has two udders, so there's two HaYom Yoms, one for the first udder, and then next month we read for the second udder. But this year there's only one, so we read the first udder and the second udder together. But I had trouble finding the second udder. I don't know where it is. I have to find it somewhere. I click this thing and it just goes according to this year. So anyway, we'll figure this out. But today we're only going to do the first udder. Here we go. Ready? These are sayings of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rebbe Yosef Yitzchak, gathered together by his successor and son-in-law, our Rebbe. Lubavitcher Rebbe. Here we go. Ready? So there's a sentence that says like this. There's a sentence in Psalms. And this psalm is said on Rosh Chodesh, and today is Rosh Chodesh. So let's say the whole psalm, first of all, goes, Yotze Adam Lapalo v'avarase are orev. Man goes out to his work and to his labor until evening. And it's a beautiful poem over there. A beautiful poem. You can look and see, what is it, 103, 104. Psalm 104. So it says, man goes out to work and his labor until evening. So let's explain this according to Hasidic teachings. Every soul in its descent into this material world has general tasks, general reason why he's here, and also a specific tasks, right? Every Jew in general has to do all the Torah and the commandments, but every person has his own special thing that only he can do and no one else can do. He, she. Man goes out to his work, the soul goes out from heaven, in the highest of heavens, it descends from level to level until it comes to be invested in a body and in a natural and animal soul. The purpose of this is that man goes to his work, to his general task of achieving a dominance of the form, in other words, the purpose of creation over the creation itself, meaning spiritual in the material. In other words, the material world does not dominate, but rather the reason for the material world, the values, eternal values, and principles of God rule over the world. Something like a person's conscience, right, rules over his actions. To illuminate the world with the light of Torah and the candle of the commandments. So man goes out to his labor. This refers to, that's general. Now what about specific? Each individual has his particular mission, right? Everyone has his own wife to deal with. Every woman has her own husband to deal with. You have your own children to deal with, your own situation, the place where you are, your next door neighbors, your job, your financial situation, your health situation, family situation. For every soul is unique, a unique service in intellect and emotions according to its nature and character. Right? Some people can't learn Torah all day. They have to do, some people are poor, some people are rich, some people, everybody has to give whatever they can and accomplish what they can until the evening. While there's still time to accomplish until a person dies, right? A person dies. On a more profound level, we can say like this. It refers to the going up of the soul. Man goes out into the physical world, like we said before, and then the soul goes up from being in the body to his work, to the soul's occupation in the world to come. In heaven, a person does what he was commensurate, what he was doing in this physical world. If a person learned Torah in this physical world, so in the heavens, you also learn Torah to his labor. If you did your service properly in this world, then you're up into heaven until it goes to the upper highest levels of Ein Sof, may be blessed. You should know that generally speaking, Chassidut does not talk about going to heaven. It doesn't talk about it. I mean, it certainly is mentioned in the Tanya, it's mentioned also. other places. But that is, how do you say, secondary to why is there such a thing as heaven? Because heaven shows that God is pleased, and it how do you say, it reveals God's pleasure in what we did. Because when we do a good deed, it's eternal. We think that you did a good deed, it was yesterday, and that's finished with. But the fact of the matter is, when you do a good deed, or you refrain from doing a bad one, that is eternal. It's above time. And even though time goes on, that's only according to the way we look at things, because we're looking at this tremendously pinpoint, right, view of the world. But we don't see the big picture at all. But the fact is, good things are that when a person does something good, as that gives God pleasure, that pleasure and makes a certain unification that's eternal. And that's what he says, according to what a person did in this physical world, that's the level of rewards and pleasures and things that you get in the upper world. But the fact of the matter is that a person would much rather be in this world doing than in the upper world and receiving. It's like these people, they used to give people, I think they still do, they retire them, right? The guy gets to be, it used to be when I remember when I was young, my grandfather retired at 60 years old, you retired, then you're an old man. Now they retired, now your own people are old when they begin to get old when they're 80, but they retire you when you're 50. How that figures out, I don't know. Anyway, so if a person, let's say he's in an army, was in the army, and he gets out and they give him all these rewards and medals. They ask him, what would you like? He said, you want to know what I would like? I would like to be young again and in the army fighting against the enemy and protecting the country. Who wants these rewards? I don't care about the rewards, right? To be active and doing things. That's what people want more than receiving all the rewards, right? In the what is veterans home? Would you like another cup of coffee, Mr. Gross? Would you like this? Who cares about the coffee? You want me to change the television for you? You want just what I want? You know what I want? I want to get out of this place and be young again and do things in the world. Forget about receiving the rewards. And that's the idea. The going to heaven is like going into the, how do you say, home for the aged or for the veterans home or whatever it's called. You're receiving all these rewards and you get free choco and all these big revelations of God, which is wonderful, but it's nothing compared to giving to God and to making God happy. In heaven, we get happy, but in this world, we make God happy. Have a good day with Mashiach. Now, God willing, 3:00, we will learn a sikha of the Rebbe. God bless you all.